Welcome to the Shellonomics Podcast, your source for pure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles entertainment, presented by King Mictus.
Teenage Mutant Controversial Turtles. You heard that right, my friends. Our good friend Christian, TMNTTALK, is with us today. We're going to be breaking down TMNT Archie Adventures issues 23 all the way to 44 with some little mini-series as well with the Mighty Mutanimals. It's all thanks to Christian, and we've got this extra coverage here. He is our TMNT Wikipedia. So, dude, how did you know about some of these comics being banned?
Well, I remember when the IDW Comics reprinted the Archie run, they really left out some of the issues, some of the later issues, like 31 through 36 or something like this. And yeah, I mean, there's a big jump between the trade paperbacks, and like, wait a minute, there are some issues missing. And then we were checking it out, and yeah, we realized, like, okay, I guess we know why they left them out. Nowadays, they could be problematic, but yeah, we're gonna cover these two, and we're gonna let you know why this could be problematic nowadays.
Absolutely, it's a part of history, and you know, like they say, if you don't study history, you might be doomed to repeat it. So we'll break those down. We'll talk about the Mighty Mutanimals. We'll talk about some cool cameos from video games that I didn't know existed in the comic realm. So I'm so excited to break down this Shellonomics episode with you guys. So Christian, feel free to take it away with issue number 23. Let's get right to it. We got a lot to break down.
Yeah, issue number 23 of TMNT Adventures is called Search and Destroy. In this issue, while the Turtles are relaxing from a previous adventure and just have a little run-in with some robbers, nothing unusual there. But we find out what's going on with Krang. Haven't seen him in a while. He was banished to this planet, which turns out is like some kind of prison planet, because he runs into for us familiar face, and that is none other than Slash the evil turtle. Yeah. In this continuity in the TMNT Adventures, he's an alien who just happens to be looking like a crazy turtle, and yeah, they team up. They meet another alien guy called Belly Bomb, who is like this one-eyed giant pink creature. And they steal a ship and fly off to get back to Earth. And that's where the issue pretty much ends.
Yep. Now, did you think it was cool? Slash still wants his blasted palm trees. I thought that was kind of funny. They brought that from the cartoon into here.
Yeah, totally. And you see Slash in this issue is looks very much like the action figure, because in the cartoon, if you remember, he looked a little bit different, a little bit more doofus. Here, he's really serious business. He's crazy, and as you say, he's still after his palm tree. He just wants his palm tree, which we will come back later. There's a story behind that.
Yep, and it just reminds me of the cartoon where he's like, everybody tricks me, because he gets all pissed, and it is sad. He's a bad guy you feel bad for, because he doesn't want any violence. He just wants his palm tree. It's like a kid with a pacifier, pretty much. Just give the people what they want, and they'll leave you alone. So, oh gosh. Well, coming up in issue 24 here, I really enjoyed a flashback, and just can you imagine this one just like in a cartoon format? My goodness.
Oh yeah, dude. Issue 24, Gimme Danger. This is first off, we see where Krang and company, they are heading to this Eden planet because they've got some creatures they have to let free there. And there they run into none other than Bebop and Rocksteady, who are like, hey, can you take us with you back to Earth? And like, okay, let's go. And so they go straight to Earth. And meanwhile, we see Shredder, who's still hiding, and the Turtles, they are looking for him. And as you said, we get this flashbacks where we see what happened to him before and stuff like that. And there's one moment in this issue that I just freaking love, when Krang and everybody with the spaceship, they go past Mars. and they talk about like, yes, there's some signs that could lead to that there was someday long ago that there was life on this planet, that there was life on Mars, and then Bebop Rocks, they are like, so you mean there could be aliens? And they are talking next to Krang, Belly Bomb, and Slash. All of them are aliens. I love just the expression on their faces, like, you are serious, really? Great moment. Well, they go back to Earth, they come back to Earth, and they run into Shredder. And yeah, there's a big fight with like turtles. Whoa, there's another turtle, and he's like, evil Ram Slash, and they start fighting. Great fight. And yeah, Krang goes up to Shredder, and he is actually able to take over his body. Like, he puts himself over Shredder's head and takes over Shredder's body to become, well, Shred Krang Shred, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, with this, the issue ends.
And we're going to get into another crazy one here. I'm sure you appreciate this too, just because me and you grew up in the same generation. How happy were you that the helmet returned back to Rocksteady? It's just a little detail, but I love the helmet on Rocksteady.
Yeah, it's so cool because they were pretty much naked when they were found, and when they are on Earth, and Rocks, they're like, okay, let's go shopping, and so they steal some clothes and stuff, and yeah, like Rocksteady in his classic military uniform and the helmet, it's like, yeah, this is like, it's like a callback. It's like, this is how it should be.
Yes.
And yeah, once again, Turtles fighting, Belly Bomb fighting Slash, fighting Krang on Shredder. And during all this, Slash leaves the place like, yeah, I want my palm tree. And so he wanders into the city and finds like this little plastic palm tree. And yeah, for the moment, he's pretty happy. Meanwhile, the Turtles stop Krang. They like pop him off of Shredder's head, and so they save Shredder here from Krang's takeover. And then after they defeated, they put Belly Bomb and Krang back on the spaceship. Bebop Rocksteady is like, yeah, we're going back to our paradise planet, and they leave with Krang and Belly Bomb, and they drop them off back at this waste planet, this prison planet, and they go back to their little paradise and live happily ever after. And so gotta say, this is the last. Actually, can say this is the last that we see of Krang in this series. So yeah, that was his finale.
Yep, it was a good one too. I like it because, as you know, there's well over right around 70 issues total, and it's just a breath of fresh air. Mm-hmm. A homework for the listeners here on Shellonomics. I want you guys to look up Adventures issue 25, the one Christian just broke down. Look at that page 7, Slash vs. Raphael. Dude, I want that as a frame photo for Christmas. That is just so intense and just so just delicious to check out. And then, of course, just set the stage. We're talking Cam Clark voice Leo in season 1, not the high-pitched panic, the Leo in season 1. Just remember one thing, Shredder, you owe us. How chilling would that have been to hear in a cartoon? That was such a fantastic line to read in this issue.
Oh yeah, it's chilling. I get goosebumps. It's like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah, they just know how to write here. So coming up next, we're gonna have a little theory talk here because again, we're gonna plug, if you guys want, at the end of the show, Christian will let you know more about his Discord. I actually posted there earlier this week or last week because issue 26. My theory is yes. I think there was a shot fired at the Ninja Turtle cartoon animation. So in this one, Christian's gonna walk you through the whole episode issue here, but they're on the TV and they're ticked off about the cartoons. They're very vocal about it, and I think that was a shot fired from the writers of this comic saying, hey, you guys need to step it up. This is kind of hokey pokey. If you want to share on that spot too, but I know you got a kick out of it when I posted that in your Discord earlier.
Oh yeah. That was, yeah, you could be totally right. It's like, yeah, there's a scene where the turtles just sitting in front of the TV watching cartoons, and they're like, oh, how do they come up with this stuff? It looks horrible, and turn it off, turn it off. And it could be like a little shot at the OG cartoon, because like, hey, look at us, what we are doing. We have big adventures. It's like the stakes are high and people get hurt, and you are just goofing off here, eating pizza all the time. Like, step up your game. Be serious, turtles.
Yes, exactly.
Could be.
Yeah, exactly. And Mikey is the MVP of this issue, hands down.
Oh, absolutely. Because in the issue, there's an alien appears called Boss Salvage, and he's like taking life forms from all over the world. Like he attacks a Yeti that has some mystical powers and he calls for Splinter for help because he gets attacked by him. And well, the turtles and Splinter, they get also captured by the alien. And as you said, Mikey is the one who is able to free himself and the Yeti, because he hid like this lockpick in his belt, and then he just, well, pretty much beats up the alien guys, and he is like, he's the coolest in this one. But then it turns out that actually he was not evil. The alien was not evil. He just wanted to save rare species like the Yeti, the Sasquatch, a merman, and Nessie. All these creatures that are endangered before, like, well, the world will end because of pollution and the stuff. And so, yeah, but in the end, there's like a hopeful message like, hey, we can work together. We can make the world a better place. We can stop pollution and all this bad stuff. So maybe we will have a better future. So yeah, it's still a message that we unfortunately need nowadays. Like, hey, take care of the planet, dudes.
Yep, let's bring back Captain Planet, the show we all grew up with. Oh my gosh. Coming up next, issue 27. Right up Christian's alley again, folks. Our streak will start again. We have a scary issue here, according to me, and a really good April cartoon. I give him credit for drawing April looking pretty much identical to the cartoon vibe here.
Yeah, it's a pretty much H.P. Lovecraftian story where April runs into this little town called Innsmouth, and everybody is really weird there, acting like zombies, and April gets captured, so the turtles go there, and they find out that behind all this weirdness in the town are 3 mutant creatures, an owl, a cat, and a crow. And they were like feeding the people some chemicals, some waste that turned them into mindless zombies. And so the turtles fight them, stop them, but one moment they turn around and suddenly they are gone. Like, to fight another day, maybe we'll find out. But for now, the town is safe again. April is safe again, so the turtles can leave the town. And yeah. That's a pretty cool story. I gotta say, honestly, when I read this one, I remember this one when I read it as a kid, it scared me a bit, I gotta say. It was like a really creepy story.
Yep, that's what I have there. It still gives me a little goosey bumps. Interesting point here, too, before we go into the 3-parter. I've noticed no turtle comms. So how do you feel about no turtle comms in this comic so far?
Yeah, that's kind of weird because sometimes they use one, but in this issue, like April calls the turtles on the phone, so they're not using turtle comms. I'm not sure why, because yeah, as we know, this is based on the classic cartoon, so they have the turtle comms. So why did April not use hers? I don't know.
Yeah, that's just a riddle I guess we'll have to discover for another day, but. Coming up next is a huge 3-parter here with phenomenal action, and we said it before, we'll say it again. Oh, why couldn't this have been in the cartoon? Dude, take it away, man. This is just great. I hope you guys enjoy this 3-parter.
Yeah, but I gotta say, before we get into the three-parter, in the last few issues that we just talked about, there was always a backup story.
Yes, I did have short stories.
April.
Correct.
Yeah, that's because that's leading right into the storyline with where April. Well, is the main focus of the story, and Chu Si and Fu Sheng, the two. The one of them is the warrior dragon, and the other is the one who turned him into the warrior dragon. And they get kidnapped by some mysterious guys. And April trying to find out what's going on. And she teams up with Splinter, and they run into some mysterious ninjas. And then they find out that they were kidnapped and brought to Hiroshima. So this now leads us right into the Midnight Sun three-parter, which are issue 28, 29, 30, where the Turtles and friends go to Hiroshima in Japan. And here they find out that a mysterious guy called Shin Khan wants to use the warrior dragon to open a portal to the demon dimension, to basically hell. And the Turtles try to stop them. And there they also run into a new character, a fox woman called Ninjara, who is working for this Shin Khan. And they have a fight. And but when she finds out that Shin Khan wants to bring a demon to our world, she helped the Turtles because that would destroy the whole world in the end, and she was not up for that. So they team up. They are able to fight Shin Khan and his ninjas and so on and so forth. And then two gods, Japanese gods, Izanagi and Izanami, they appear and fight the demon Noitaidar and bring him back to the demon world. So that stopped. But one moment we find out that Shin Khan is actually some kind of dog man because he loses his mask that he was always wearing, and we see that he has a dog face. He looks kind of like a dog mutant, but we don't find out yet what's his deal because he runs off. And we also meet a new character, Oyuki, who is this young girl, and she should have been sacrificed, but that unfortunately did not happen. So lots of new characters here, big adventure, demons, gods, we got pretty much it all. And that's pretty much the whole story for now.
All right, question for you, your take. Again, we're going to put you on the hot seat like they do for questions here. Aloplex or Ninjara? Who are you choosing?
Oh, that's a toughie. I mean, Ninjara was the original. Yeah. She was first. But Aloplex is also really cool. Oh, don't make me decide.
All right, okay.
They're both cool. They're both good fighters. I like both designs. But they're. I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
I'm going Ninjara.
Don't make me choose. I love them both.
All right. That's why we called it the hot seat. Oh, great. Wait, hold on, Mike. We still have another almost hour of work to do. Don't make me sweat yet. I got you. All right. Ninjara for me. I like her. I like them both too, but just Ninjara if I had to choose. So we're getting into we're getting closer and closer to the controversial issues here, but I want to mention in issue 31, this is something that, again, we really can't go back with the woulda, shoulda, couldas, but just all this Leonardo and Splinter training should have been more involved in the cartoon, because this is where you get appreciation for Leonardo as a leader.
Oh, yeah. Issue number 31, Turning Japanese, is, I gotta say, kind of a prefer issue after the big three-parter, where the Turtles, they are pretty much just hanging out in Japan, and as you said, Leonardo is training with Splinter. I mean, there's just one shot where they are jumping at each other with the swords, and the moon is in the background. It just this could be like a poster or something. It looks so good. Ninjara and Raphael are hanging out and getting to know each other better. Mikey and Oyuki are flying some kites, and Chu-Si and April, they're having a little date, a little picnic there, and Donatello is checking out the place where they are repairing the power plant that got destroyed in the last story. So yeah, it's pretty much just like all these little stories where everyone is like exploring Japan for themselves, and yeah, it's nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then issue 32, we're getting some tattoos, I believe, near the end. I like the tattoo in this one. It's kind of sad where everything gets a little crazy for hard fans unless you're able to really dig or spend a couple bucks for these banned issues we're going to get into. But feel free to take us away in issue 32.
Yeah, with issue number 32, this is like the first issue that was not reprinted by IDW, where the Turtles meet Tattoo, who is this big, humongous sumo wrestler. And yeah, just like the action figure with all his tattoos. And he asked the Turtles for help because he is fighting in a big tournament. But his little pet dog Inky got kidnapped, and he should lose the fight, or Inky will get hurt. So he asked the Turtles for help, that they save Inky so he can win his battle. And of course, that's what's happening. Turtles are able to stop the bad guys, save Inky. Tattoo can win the match, and he's still the champion. And yeah, he's ever so grateful for that. And yeah, I mean, there's something I remember that Leonardo is saying a lot in these issues is when they're fighting and the bad guys are pulling out their guns. Leonardo is always, I hate guns. He's saying that a lot of times in his comics. And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty interesting version of Tattoo here, where he is just a normal guy and not a mutant hamster.
Yep. I'm sending you a message right now because that's pretty much exactly what I put. Leonardo continues the Batman role, hating guns. Very nice job pointing that out. Pretty funny. We're pretty much, even though we're miles and miles away, our minds are like-minded with our turtle love. I wanted to make sure we got that across because, yes, Leo hates guns, and you'll continue to hear that more and more again. So coming up next, we get some Infinity Stones-like, and for those who enjoy good music and good jokes, this is why I like reading comics like this, because the writers just had fun. You get a nice little Smashing Pumpkins rat in a cage joke in this one. I like that one a lot.
This is the issue number 33, which is the Karma of Kathmandu, where the Turtles, they are on the way back to New York. They're like, okay, we leave Japan behind, we're going back to New York. But by doing this, they go to Tibet because Master Splinter's, Hamato Yoshi's old master, is living there and they want to visit him. And yeah, so there they run into some crazy stuff, like some weird living skeletons that attack them, and they also run into a four-armed tiger man called Kathmandu. And unfortunately, Splinter's master, Charlie Lama, has been kidnapped. So that's where this issue ends, which leads right into the next issue.
Yeah, and now we're going to start getting into the, I guess, more of the controversial side here. Now, let's talk about this, because this is a part of Ninja Turtle history. It's going to get a little deeper when you get into 35, but, you know, since I grew up in this era, I can understand and respect people if they do take offense to this. It's the same thing with sports teams out here in the States. You know, some people don't appreciate some certain team names. I don't think they were meant to be taken that way, but I can't speak for those people. But for me, just reading these, I can see and empathize with those. Just me personally, I did not take any offense to this. It just was a different time. So do you have any thoughts? And I guess just feel free to start explaining to our listeners here on Shellonomics why you can see why these were not re-released in the 2014, 15, and 16 era.
I think the main problem is here, we meet a character named Charlie Lama, who is like a humanoid llama, and he's like the equivalent to our Dalai Lama. So some people could like say, is this a parody or something? Even though the Charlie Lama is, in my opinion, portrayed here as a very serious character. It's not like they're making fun of him or anything. But I think one of the main problems is that they are talking about the conflict between Tibet and China. And China here is represented by the bad guy of the story, who is this Chinese wizard called Mang Trasha. And yeah, China is not portrayed in a very good light here. They are like really talking about that China, they are attacking Tibet. They want to take over Tibet. And so China is like, the Chinese people, they are the bad guys, some kind of like this. And, with the standing nowadays, political standing with China and everything, this could be, controversial or could like really upset some people. Yeah. And I think that's the main problem here.
Yeah, and the monks being monkeys, maybe somebody would say that's not cool. And it's unfortunate because there's just some good turtle love as you break down issue 45, or because you get Mikey saying, "Now I know why you're our leader, dude." Just cool stuff like this that we really didn't get. I mean, I think Mikey said it once in the old cartoon, but just again, more appreciation for Leo's role. And I think if people who grew up with the 87 cartoon and were Leo fans read this comic, you would really appreciate Leonardo a lot more.
Yeah, it's the same here because, the Turtles, they go to save Charlie Lama. They're fighting Mang Trasha and his soldiers. And, well, they're able to defeat him, to stop him together with Kathmandu. But unfortunately, Charlie Lama dies of old age because of this. Meanwhile, Donatello and Splinter, they're helping a woman who is giving birth to a little kid, to a little baby. And so it seems in the end that the Charlie Lama got reincarnated as this little baby because Splinter says like, we'll come back later when the new incarnation has grown up. So, that's... gotta say, pretty much a story. But as you said, like Leonardo is like really the leader here. He really knows what to do, he's really in charge. He's really the other turtles really feel like they are respecting him more, and he's just a good leader, I gotta say.
Yeah. And now in issue 35, the Turtles are going to Saudi Arabia, even with like the gear they're wearing here. So why do you think this one was banned? They just wanted to nuke, issues all the way up to 37. Unfortunately, readers are going to be. It's very hard to find unless you want to pay a premium on eBay or if you want to source around the internet for them.
Yeah, the main thing is here. Where, as you said, the Turtles, they go to Saudi Arabia because they're still on the way back to New York. And here the Turtles, they learn more about Arabian culture and their religion. They learn about the Prophet Muhammad and things like this. And that's, I think, the main problem here, because we get like this scene, like what happened and what people believe in, and we got a picture of Mohammed. And nowadays, you are not allowed to picture Mohammed. You're not allowed to draw him or anything. That could really upset some people. And that's the main reason here why they did not reprint this storyline. And once again, the Turtles run into a new character called Alfalca, who is this Falcon Man. And like this artifact, the Black Stone gets stolen by some people. And the Turtles run into Alfalca because he thinks that they stole it. So they have like a little conflict. But in the end, we see who is really behind this. And it turns out that the Shredder is back. Yeah,
and that's why it's unfortunate that these issues don't get, because there is still some of that juicy story in here that continues on. Because coming up in issue 36, we have a phenomenal Shredder battle coming up.
Yeah, it's like really Shredder. Whenever he appears in the story, he's really a threat, and it's the same here because the Turtles and Alfalca, they work together to get the Black Stone back, and they run into Shredder, and he's got some foot soldiers with him, and he's got a new partner who is this cybernetic cat mutant called Verminator X, and they have a fight, and because Shredder is able to kidnap Splinter, and then there is a time slip is opening, like a time portal that Verminator X is using, because he says that he comes from the future, and Shredder and Verminator X, they go back to the future, but they leave Splinter behind because Leonardo is the one who says, "Hey, Shredder, remember, you owe us one. We saved you. Leave Splinter behind," and Shredder still has some kind of honor code, because it's like, yeah, you're right, take Splinter, but now we are fine. No more. Next time I see you, it will be over. And so they leave. But what they did not know is that they did not take the Black Stone with them, because Ninjara, who is the greatest thief in Japan, was able to steal it back. And so Alfalca is really happy that this artifact that's so important for his religion is saved. And yeah, that's the end of that.
Yep. And coming up, one that we talked about before, this is probably one of my favorite ones, just because I am a big wrestling fan, especially with, we've brought up a couple times here, John Cena is saying farewell. If you guys haven't checked out Raw, that was a great moment earlier this week for John. He won the Intercontinental title. But coming up here, I can see why this one may get banned, because there is a, in quotation marks here, that, we grew up in the 90s, and they used to call them dumb blonde jokes. I guess people could take very offense to that. I read it, there's a big dumb blonde joke vibe in here. It's a different vibe, man. It's, and that's how it is for every culture, though, I would say. Every, generation. There were jokes that our parents said that people would find offensive, and now we're getting to that age now where people would say, it's like, hey, you can't say that. You can't do that anymore. So I can see how this one's taken away. But before you get into this, I'll give you the intro here with Splinter saying, "So this is the cowlick that I've heard so much about."
Yeah, because in the middle of the desert, the turtles, they run into Cuddly the cowlick. He appears and he's like, "Hey, turtles, would you need a lift?" And yeah, it's the first meeting of Splinter and Cuddly. So they're like, "Yeah, we would really love to get out of this desert and get back to New York." But of course, it's like, okay, we can do that, but you've got to wrestle again. So the turtles get brought to the Stamp asteroid, to Stamp Arena, and they have to wrestle again. They put on their wrestling costumes, but this time they have to fight each other. So yeah, it's a big fight between all four brothers, and whoever wins this one must fight a new character who is called El Misterio. And so yeah, there's a big wrestling fight, pretty cool. And who wins in the end? None other than Donatello. And then he is able to face the strong guy, who is El Misterio, who is, as it turns out, actually Crying Hound in a different costume. And yeah, Donatello is also able to win this and become the new champion. So yeah, pretty impressive there. And then the turtles with Cuddly, they are able to go back to Earth.
Yep, and I enjoy it because they even call it WrestleMania in there too, Turtlemania. So it's like, where do you think this line came from? So, like that one a lot. I also found it funny with the Mikey spelling. They put Mikie, and I've been called Mikey a lot, but never that way. So that was kind of funny to see. And then I really enjoy how Ace Duck losing to Leatherhead was an upset in some eyes, because here he dominates in his match, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. If I remember correctly, is this the one where he fights this new guy, this Bloodbath, this wolf, this Wolfman? Yeah.
And he
you gotta say, Ace Duck, he's a goofy guy, he's very arrogant and everything, but he can fight. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. And now coming up is a huge, thick-filled, say that 5 times fast, Mighty Mutanimals similar miniseries here. Now, before we go into this, I called them the Avengers last week. I'm changing my pick. I get more of a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe, like the MCU movies with these guys. If you could compare these guys for an analogy, what group of superheroes would you call the Mutanimals?
I think you're pretty good there with the Guardians of the Galaxy, or yeah, kind of Suicide Squad style, but they're not the bad guys in that way. But they're still like this thrown together band of guys who are just so different. It's like, hey, it's not like, hey, we're gonna team up. It's like, hey, we get thrown together, so we work together. So yeah, it's. I just love the classic Mutanimals. They're much fun.
Oh, yeah, and feel free to break down all 5 of these. Take all the time you need. We get some cool backstories here, too, for these characters, and a sad one for Wingnut fans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So let's go over the Mighty Mutanimals number 1 through 5. Where, the last time we saw the Mutanimals, they were teaming up. We have Man Ray, Mondo Gecko, Jaguar, Dreadmon, Leatherhead, and Wingnut and Screwloose. And as they are getting ready to be a team, they find out that Jaguar's mother, Juntara, was kidnapped by a mysterious skeleton. Red was riding on a horse, and so the Mutanimals, they're like, okay, team up time, we have to save my mother. And for this, they have to go on the Path of the Four Winds, which is this mystical path that Juntara was on, where when you finish it, you will be like a new person, you will be a stronger person in mind and body. And so the Mutanimals have to take this journey too. And first off, they run into like this snake man on the first path called Snake Eyes, that's able to like hypnotize people and let them relive their past. And as you said, like we see Wingnut and Screwloose's past, where he relives Wingnut relives like his life, where he was a boy and he did not grow big wings. He could not fly by himself. So he met Screwloose. They were become friends and was able to get his metallic wings. But then like the invasion forces appeared and destroyed everyone and killed everyone. And so Wingnut has to relive all these memories. And one thing I forgot to mention, that in the present, the Mutanimals are fighting like the giant snake, and during all this, Wingnut's wings get crushed, so he loses his metallic wings, and he could not fly anymore. So in the end, like Screwloose attacks this Snake Eyes character, and he's able to hypnotize himself. But then the Mutanimals realize, like, because Wingnut is like, hey, I'm feeling better because I was able to leave this past behind now that I've seen it again. I could leave it behind. So Snake Eyes was not a bad guy. He was trying to help them. So this is where they finish the first path. Then in next issue, the Mutanimals, they get attacked by like flying skulls and a giant skeleton that was sent there by this mysterious skeleton guy, who, as we find out, works together with none other than Null, who is once again back. Then they run into a dragon character who is actually an alien, and from him, or because he's like there are all the spaceships lying around with weapons, and the Mutanimals like take all the weapons and then they leave. And then they run into another new character, Azrael, who is like this bird woman. And she's like, hey, I know where you can find Juntara. I can help you. So they go there, and they see like, okay, there's Null behind it. There's like this skeleton who is actually turns out to be Death himself. and they get attacked. The Mutanimals get attacked by like this robot army of very Terminator-like robot creatures, and they start fighting with their new weapons, with their big guns. They start fighting there, and at the end of issue number 5, it does not look that well for the Mutanimals because they get overrun by this army, and what will happen next? We will find out.
Yeah, so if you had to pick one of these Mutanimals, it's hard to do, but for me, I really enjoy Jaguar, and I really am, it's very hard for just me personally to get emotionally invested in this stuff. I haven't been emotionally invested only in 2 shows when I was growing up. Las Vegas on NBC was a great one, and then Cobra Kai. Love that series. For this, I'm getting emotionally invested in these characters, and I really enjoy Leatherhead, where he's coming and he wants to be a good guy. I like his strength, he can fight, and I like Jaguar. So who are your go-tos in the Mighty Mutanimal squad?
Yeah, they're all pretty cool, but if I have to decide, I think I would go with Wingnut and Screwloose, because they are just, in one way, they're so goofy, but you can really see where they're coming from. They got all this backstory, like that drove them mad in the end. So they're really, in my opinion, deep characters. So yeah, I guess Wingnut and Screwloose, they are my go-to guys.
So a quick jump to the other spot here, then, since those are your big dudes, is how much more did you enjoy that 2012 spot when they came in? Because that design almost looks more like this design compared to the cartoon and action figure, didn't it? With the logo and everything? Yeah,
pretty much, even though they are completely different characters, but from the design, just from the design standpoint, I see what you mean. Like, especially when they get, in the 2012 show, they get transformed into like this monster versions. You can really see like, okay, the bat features and the mosquito features, and so like, you're really playing there with the toy designs more, as you said, more than in the classic cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. So they had some fun. Yeah, and I know you didn't cry, but how hurt were you when Wingnut lost his wings? I did not see that coming, even though they were mechanical.
Yeah, that was a pretty big shocker there. Like, the whole issue was like, hey, Wingnut cannot take a break here. First off, he loses wings, then he has to relive his past. And yeah, it's like, as you said, because just remember the action figure, like these mechanical wings, they're like so... they're such a big part of Wingnut's design, and see them gone, like, okay, that I did not see coming, because they were always there, but now they're gone, and he only has this little wings that he cannot really use to fly.
Yeah, kind of like when Goldar lost his wings in the Power Rangers, and then Lord Zed gave him back. So I feel you on that one. But coming up next it was almost like, as I'm reading this page by page, I'm like, say the name. I think I know this guy. I'm getting all fanboying out here. Say the name. A dude I have seen before and didn't know he existed in the comics beforehand. Feel free to show us who that was.
Yeah, so back to the Turtles with issue number 38, because this is the start of the United We Stand Divided Before 3-parter, where the Turtles appear. Cuddly brought them to the Mutanimals to help them in their fight. So there's a big fight there with the robots, and in the end the Mutanimals and the Turtles are able to destroy them. And so like, okay, now we're gonna save Juntara. But then they run into 3 new creatures that are none other than Famine, Pestilence, and War. And yes, War is the character that you mean, because War was a playable character in the Tournament Fighters game for the Super NES. And yeah, it's so weird, because like we have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in the storyline here, but they took like War out of it and put it into the video games. Like, okay, I mean, he's cool. I always thought that he was fun to play with, but why War? Why did you take War?
And all it says, rah. That's all I remember in the video games. Now, you said you said you read these as a kid. Where did you find War first, in the comics or the video game?
Oh,
If you can
That's
remember.
a good question.
Okay.
I think it must have been also in the video game first.
Okay.
And I was reading the comics later.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, oh man, this is so freaking cool to see a dude I played in a video game show here, and they did such a beautiful job from transferring from the comic, because that's where his origin is, to the video game.
Yeah, it's as I said, it's kind of wild way they took War as a character in the game. Like,
Yep.
okay.
And
I mean, it works. It works.
And as you clued me in, we are not done yet with pretty much getting some dudes from video games and comics. But in issue 39 coming up pretty soon, we got some crazy epic battles. This is just where, like I've said it a few times, you're getting me more and more into loving comics. So I may jump into Marvel and stuff, but I just love seeing this artwork on paper now. It is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just so. I think it's really so cool to go on this journey with you. I mean, I know this comics, and you're living them for the first time, and you know how it is with a lot of stuff. It's like when someone is growing up with them and it's like, oh, this is the coolest stuff ever, and then you discover it for the first time. Nowadays, it's like, it's okay, I gotta say, but it's such a wonderful journey to take you on with, because you're like really into them. Like, okay, these are cool. These are still cool. 30 years later, these are good comics.
Yes, and we expressed our opinion. Yeah, like I say, we did the Rise of the Turtles. We weren't sold on those as being huge, but again, this is just like when you were a kid, you know, and you were going on that field trip. You didn't worry about it. You were just so excited to go. And that's kind of how it's been with most of this journey here, especially here because this is my childhood. Literally, this is when I was a kid. I was born in 1984. We've got our mindset in the 90s. We've got the color of the comics here like that in the 90s. The detail's great. These are my Turtles. And for the record, too, like Christian said in our first week of doing this, Mikey has had his nunchucks and uses them regularly. This is just so cool for me to see on paper. So, yeah, I appreciate those kind words, dude. And we got a long way to go for this episode and for the future of this series. I've been loving every issue so far.
All right. So I guess it's next the second part, which comes in the Mighty Mutantos number 6. So like their first a Turtle issue, then a Mutantos issue, then a Turtles issue again.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the part where the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, they split up all the characters, like the Turtles and the Mutanimals, into like 3 different stories. Like they're ripping apart reality. It's really wild, and they each confront one of the 3 horsemen, like pestilence, famine, and war. And well, they're not faring very well because they get overwhelmed by pestilence on one side. They almost starve to death because of famine, and they get blown up by war. So, well, pretty much at the end of the second issue, the Turtles and the Mutanimals, they are defeated, and they are now prisoners of the 4 horsemen. So that's where issue 2 ends.
Yes, exactly. Dude, just I still can't wait until we get into more characters here. Feel free to go into the next one. We still got a lot more to cover here, my bro.
Yeah, that brings us back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 39, which is the finale of the 3-parter, where we have the big final fight, where well, the Turtles, they have to, and the Mutanimals, they are able to free themselves and go in for one big fight with Null and the 4 Horsemen. During all this, Kid Terra, who's also there, who's trying to help everyone, and he's trying to help Chuntara, they are fighting them, and Kid Terra, that's where it was. Kid Terra gets shot, actually, and he almost dies, but Skrulus is the one who is able to find like these puppets that the death has of the other horsemen, and he destroys these puppets, which also destroys the real creatures. So they are defeated, and well, Death gets beaten up, gets destroyed, and Kitara gets saved. Null sees that he's alone. He's like, okay, I'm out. But he transforms, he grows wings, because he says that with every evil deed that he does, he grows more demonic, he grows more powerful, and he flies off to once again fight another day. And yeah, and then in the end, we see that Death is also reforming himself and rides off into the sunset. And so, yeah, for now, the Turtles and the Mutanimals were able to stop Null again with, well, actually pretty much what does he want? He just wants destruction, and he just wants to create chaos and destruction to become more and more demonic. But yeah, he's defeated for now. And yeah, that's the end of that storyline.
Yep, and then issue number 40. So I don't know if you learned this little, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So it's pretty much implemented into our brains out here in the States. So I'm like, oh, I kind of think I know where issue number 40 is going with 1492.
Yeah, the Turtles, they are, saying their goodbyes to the Mutanimals, and they are like, okay, we're going back going back to New York because they are in Brazil now. And so they try to go over the ocean, but they get into this storm. And when they wake up again, they were transported back to the year 1492, when Columbus arrived in America. And yeah, the Turtles, they are seeing history firsthand there. And Donatello gets actually captured by Columbus and his guys, and there he meets a spirit called the Other that tells him all about, like, okay, this is you were transported here because this is a very important spot in time, and you were thrown through a time portal, kinda. And he also told all about Columbus, and one of the interesting things here is that he's Columbus, he was a great guy and he discovered the new world and everything. He's also telling about the bad stuff that happens, they brought diseases to the natives, and not only brought good stuff slavery and all the which I think is very cool to hear about. It's not like that's cool, but it's good to hear about, as you said, you gotta know about history or you might repeat it. So in the end, the Turtles, they get transported back to their time, and they are able to go back to New York. So that's the end of that trip there.
And oh boy, coming into issue 41 now, I was getting excited reading this one. I'm like, ooh, is Dr. Ellen here? Unfortunately, it's not Dr. Ellen, it's somebody different. I was like, I thought they were going to give me that, but we still have another guy later. But I wanted to take a quick break here to let you catch your breath, because you've been working really hard so far in this hour. But in 41, the weapon usage here, this is my TMNT, because what's great when you read is you let your imagination come, in your mind more with the pages, whereas watching it in the cartoon. So for me, these fight scenes, this is what I imagine my Turtles to be when I'm playing with my action figures. It's gritty, it's violent, but not like, Mortal Kombat style. It's action. Just like, because kids, we love action. We love Power Rangers, Turtles, you name it, Ghostbusters, all that good stuff. And then also here, there's a spot where Michelangelo has an idea, and Raph's like, what a dumb idea. And Leo's like, hey, that's not so dumb, Raph. So again, they just, Mikey is just not a dimwit in this show, in this series so far, in this comic. And time again, the writers, the artists, they just want you to know, hey, all four Turtles are cool and all are badasses in their own way. You already saw it earlier in this episode we broke down. Donatello, yes, Donatello won the wrestling. Not Leonardo, not Raph, and not our, Battle Nexus champion in another lifetime. Donatello won it. So they just do a great job with all four Turtles. Nobody is favored in this series. I haven't picked up. Just I just wanted to make sure I let you catch your breath, and I really like issue 41 here.
Yeah, I gotta say, issue number 41, which is called "And Deliver Us from Evil," is like the only issue here that really reminds me of the classic cartoon. You know, this could be like an episode of the classic cartoon.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, it feels like a flashback to the classic days, because Raphael is telling Ninjara the story where they where they run into this mammoth mutant called Mammoth, who appeared first in an issue that we did not talk about. Actually, there was a backup story. It's kind of confusing because it was a backup story in the TMNT Meet Archie special. But pretty much the story is that Shredder found a caveman and he mutated him into a man-moth, and he went crazy and fell into a lake and seemingly drowned. So that was the end of that story. And that's where this story here starts, because Man-Moth reappears. And there's also an evil scientist who wants to clone her own Man-Moth creature. And the Turtles, they are once again caught in the middle of this because they want to find Man-Moth, and then there's a big fight, as you said, big action scene where the two Man-Moth creatures, they start fighting each other, throwing each other through walls and all crazy stuff. And yeah, the good guys in the end, of course, they win, and they're able to bring Man-Moth to like an Arctic island where he can live freely in peace. So yeah, just a funny little story.
That's what I wanted to ask you next too. I'll probably ask you more off our podcast, but there are a couple. Well, there's another like Archie special, so we'll have to include these, I guess, in the next one. But how many more mini-series were there? I know there's one that you're doing on your show right now with April. Are there any others besides April after the Mighty Mutanimals issue 9?
Yeah, I mean, they released some TMNT Adventure specials.
Okay.
That are just like some nice little stories. Then there were also some miniseries, like 2 April O'Neil miniseries. Then there's a Donatello and Leatherhead miniseries.
Ooh.
And a Murdude miniseries.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
Okay.
Some little here and there, some little stories here and there, but these are the main ones, if I remember correctly.
Okay, because I'm piggybacking off you. It's Ninja Turtles, it's Archie, I'm there for it. So I want to cover those two. Coming up next, we have another trilogy here, which brings an end to our Mutanimals solo series here with somebody else where it's like, well, where have I seen this face before? Page 16 also, dude. This is another great one. Not one, but two. I'm calling them classics. 2 classic characters here.
Yeah, let's jump back into the Mighty Mutanimals with issue number 7, which is called I Am Armagon. And yeah, that's the one, first off, we meet here is Armagon, a shark mutant from the future. And yeah, that's the character from the Tournament Fighters game. And he is like taking some parts from the deep dump operation that the Turtles stopped way back with Man Ray. And so he runs into Man Ray and they have a fight, but there's another character appearing. Murdude appears and he's fighting together with Man Ray. And yeah, they're pretty much able to stop Armagon, but he escapes through a time slip again back to the future. But he's taking Murdude with him. That leaves Man Ray, a very confused Man Ray behind. So yeah, this is like, yeah, it's pretty much a setup story for what's coming next with the Turtles. So yeah, that was issue 7 of the Mighty Mutanimals.
Yeah, it's just so cool. And in issue 8 here, again, for those, if you do find the old comics, I got to plug a quick little plug here for our gaming friends at Konami. There's an ad in this one where they talk where it's like, yeah, the Turtles got a movie, but come play our games anyway. And I can't argue with them. It's for the greatest, man. It was 3 of them. Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist, or 4 of them, yeah, Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist, Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project, and Turtles 2, Back from the Sewer for the Game Boy. Dude, what a, like, 4 food groups pretty much for gaming right there.
Oh, yeah, those were the greatest. And I always, as you say, when I'm reading through these classic comics, I just love these ads for all this stuff back then. It really takes me back, like, like the video games and so on. It's just so cool to see this stuff. So yeah, issue number 8 of the Mighty Mutanimals, The Cruel Sea. The Mutanimals run into an old enemy again. Captain Mo's back, the bad fisherman is back, and yeah, the Mutanimals try to stop him again. But with this story, it's a little bit complicated because he's not actually doing evil. He's working for real. But he's still hurting animals in the ocean. So Man Ray, of course, he goes after Captain Mosback, and yeah, they are able to once again stop what he's doing to all the poor sea creatures.
Yeah, exactly. No, those were the good old. That's why I love just again. It's the same when you watch an old TV episode. The same. I'm sure you have the same thing when you had the VCR or even a DVD. You'd record the program on your show, on your television, and then you would watch it. And I love YouTube because there's a lot of YouTube videos uploaded where, whether it's the Turtles or Ghostbusters, you'll see that old, even though you weren't, I wasn't a fan of dolls, but you just see that old Barbie commercial just because they showed it so many times, or that nice Hot Wheels car toy, or Domino Rally. In these comics, there are a lot of, Konami obviously made Turtle games, so there's a lot of Tiny Toon ads in there for their video games, which were really cool. So, coming up in number 9, I wanted your take on this because the story is complete to a degree with the Mutanimals, but why do you think there were only 23 pages instead of their normal 26 plus? This is a shorter comic than number 9 here.
Good question there. I guess they really told the story that they want to tell, but maybe it has something to do with that issue number 9 is the last issue of the Mighty Mutanimals storyline of the comic book. And if I remember correctly, it's like they did not want it to end there. They wanted to go on with the Mighty Mutanimals, but it was not selling that well. So they unfortunately had to stop it. Back then, they even planned to do an animated show for the Mighty Mutanimals. Man. Yeah. You like online, you can find some concept art and stuff for it. And I think it would have been really cool, but that also never got never got made. So yeah, it's like one of these what if stories. So yeah, unfortunately, this was pretty much the end for the Mutanimals for then.
Damn.
So, yeah, let's get into the last issue, which is just called Slash. And there we find out what happened to Slash. And I just love how all the stories are connected, like the Turtle stories and the Mutanimals. Because Slash appears in Brazil and he gets captured and imprisoned. And the Mutanimals hear about this and they think that Slash is one of their turtle friends. So they free him, and Slash then attacks the Mutanimals. And they are able to fight him and able to stop him. They're like, hey, we don't want to hurt you. We want to help you, actually. And Slash finally calms down and he tells the Mutanimals why he is the way he is, because he was living on a planet that was full of palm trees and was living a happy life there. But then all the palm trees got cut down, and so he went crazy and went after, pretty much the government who was after the cutting down of the trees. And then the Mutanimals was like, okay, so if that's what you want, if you just want palm trees to live a happy life, hey, come with us. We show you a little island. We're full of palm trees, and that's pretty much where they leave Slash behind, and he's just happy to have his palm trees. And yeah, that's the end of that. A happy ending.
Okay, I promise you, this was the last hot seat question I have. This is the final one of our episode here. It's another toughie. So, hot seat, which battle do you like better? Leatherhead versus Slash in these Archie comics, or Leatherhead versus the Rat King in the cartoon, the OG cartoon?
I got
Tough again.
Leatherhead versus Red King was more on the funny side. It was cool and everything, but with Slash and Leatherhead, it once again it felt kind of like wrestling when they were fighting, and like when Leatherhead put him in this arm lock, and that was pretty cool. I think I gotta say with Slash versus Leatherhead.
Yeah, me too. I just like how he has him in that grip of like, say uncle and stop the nonsense or I'm gonna break you. It's pretty much, it's Leatherhead's nice way of trying to show mercy as a tough guy. So I really enjoyed his character too. So we've got 3 more issues here, guys. I keep saying episodes because I'm used to TV here, but we have 3 more issues left. We're going to see that lovely line, let me tell you a story in this one, but the crazy spot, we don't want you guys going anywhere because we're going to change it up. Raphael in the movie says, I lost a sigh. In the comics, he lost an eye. Feel free to take it from there.
Yeah, so this brings us to the Future Shock trilogy, where where 2 turtles, Raphael and Donatello, from 100 years in the future, come to the turtles of the present time to ask for help. And as you said, Raphael is missing an eye. What's going on there? And so the turtles, Splinter and Ninjara, they go with the turtles to the future. And there they find out what happened because, like Donatello, in the future, he was able to build a time slip generator to travel through time. And but then Armagon appears. Yes, the Armagon that we met in the Mighty Mutant issue appeared, and he stole the time slip generator and he attacked the turtles. And during this fight, he shoots a missile at the turtles, and this is where Raphael loses an eye. But during all this, the future Leonardo and future Michelangelo, they get kidnapped. So this is why they are here, to bring them back and to fight the trio of bad guys who are causing all this trouble: Armagon, Verminator X, and the Shredder.
Jeez, what a 3-headed monster.
Yeah. So, I think we can go through these issues in one sitting.
Yeah, we got the mention.
Yeah, it's one big story. It's really one big story.
Yeah, we've got Hitler's brain in this one, and Baxter Stockman makes an appearance here. He looked pretty good too, I thought.
Oh yeah, because we find out more information because Armagon is using some stuff from the past that's to give the time slip generator that he stole more power, and one of the things is Hitler's brain, and he also uses the bones from the Roswell alien, and he was also supposed to use the Black Stone of Mecca, but Shredder and Verminator X did not get them. And then we get more information because we find out how Shredder even got there. And if we remember, we get back to way from the start of the series, where at the end of the issue number 4 with the Eye of Sarnoff, we see that when Shredder escaped that, Armagon appeared in front of him, and he escaped together with Shredder through a time slip into the future. And so this is like, you can say this is like where the timelines split up, because there's one timeline where Armagon did not go back to the future. That was our cartoon universe. And then we have the moment where Armagon brought Shredder to the future, and that's the start of the Archie series. Sorta, kinda. This is like where it drifts off. Even though there's like, you know how it is with time travels, it gets complicated, because if Shredder got taken back then by Armagon to the future, how did all these stories happen between the issue number 4 and now with the Shredder? When he was taken by Krang and everything that happened before that, how could this have happened? Because Shredder was already in the future, and it breaks my brain to think about it. Time travel. It's better not to think too much about it.
Absolutely, especially because, like you say, Craig's gone now. Like I say, it's not really a spoiler. It's just he's done in the series. So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah,
dude. And
so
final one. I gotta just throw a quick little nudge here. Just more. I'm even getting tired of using the word. I'm gonna have to look at the source and say something. Gratitude instead of appreciation. Just so much gratitude I have, and I'm so thankful to be able to read these and talk these over with you. Because in issue 44, once again, Michelangelo shows no fear and goes face to face with the Rat King and delivers one of the most, I'm going to say, iconic shots in this entire series we're going to read. And for the cherry on top, if you haven't had enough of a Ninja Turtle ice cream sundae, check out page 19 of this issue. There's actually writing of Raphael in a battle upside down. I have not seen that anywhere else. I haven't read a lot of comics, so it probably exists somewhere else, but I just love how Raphael's taking a hit and they have the writing upside down. So they really want you to get into these, issues.
Yeah, how cool is that? There's so much good stuff. Because, well, the Turtles, they attack the bad guys. There's a big fight. Armagon escapes through a time portal, and because he's taking Leonardo with him. And during all this, the Rat King appears, who mysteriously, 100 years in the future, he is still alive and looking pretty good for a normal human. So yeah, like future Raphael, present time Raphael, and future Donatello, they follow Armagon through the time portal, but the time slip gets destroyed and they're stuck in some weird alternate world, like they're in a swamp, and they have a fight with Armagon there, and they're able to defeat him to get Leonardo back. The others get saved too. They are able to get back through a time slip because present time Donatello is able to repair the time slip. And as you said, like the bad guys, Terminator X and Shredder and the Rat King, they are fighting everyone. And as you said, Mikey is so cool because he's confronting the Rat King, and he's like, so you're controlling the rats with your mind powers? Like, yes, it's just up there. And then Mikey's like, that's all I need to know. And he punches him in the neck and knocks him out. And yeah, even for a moment, like Splinter gets controlled by the Rat King, and he attacks Michelangelo and beats him up. Like, that's pretty wild. But as I said, in the end, the Turtles are able to stop the bad guys. Murdude is also there. He's like angering Terminator X, and he shoots at him, and he destroys a wall, and water comes flushing in and flushes away the bad guys. So the good guys are saved, the bad guys are defeated, and yeah, the Turtles, they are able to go back to their own time. So that's the end of that story. And one little twist ending there with Armagon, which I always thought was really cool, because we see Armagon, who is still stuck in this alternate world. But we see like the Turtle Co. building in the background, the destroyed Turtle Co. building, which is the building that the future Turtles live in. And so apparently this is not an alternate dimension, but a more far in the future. So they're like, oh, that was nice little twist there. So yeah, that's the end of the Future Shark Trilogy. Still such a cool name. I love it.
Yeah, seeing Baxter Stockman appear, rewriting history to a degree, like you say, with the incredible Shrinking Turtles cartoon that we grew up with. And besides like season 8 and 10 for the OG Turtles, that was like the only miniseries besides season 1 that we got. So what more can we say, guys? This has just been an incredible run. The only bad news we have is this is going to end our show here, because the next issue is going to be, I believe it talks about origin story retold, and I would love to keep going, but otherwise we want you guys to, it's pretty much like a deep dish pizza. I'm stuffed, man. I am stuffed. We have fed on so much turtle deliciousness. But if you guys want to know more about the Ninja Turtles in the comic realm, we got a phenomenal podcast we can take you to. Tell them where to find you, buddy.
Well, I think you're talking about like this famous podcast called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Talk.
Yes.
which is by the way my podcast, and yeah, where I talk about the newest comic stuff and well, turtles in general. You can find TMNT The Talk pretty much everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcast. Just check it out or go to the website TMNTTALK.com, where you can also find all the social media links, including the Discord of TMNT The Talk, where every TMNT fan is welcome to come over and talk turtles with us. So yeah, that's my little plug there.
Yeah, I'm a part of that Discord as well. It's a great community. We're all wholesome. It's pretty much TMNT Talk O'Neill. He gives you updates on games, news in the comics, movies, card games that I didn't know existed. They're only in Italy right now. And yeah, guys, I highly encourage following TMNT Talk anywhere because holidays are coming up here in the States. We've got Thanksgiving. Feel free to check out tons and tons of Turtle episodes on your drive. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. We hope to see you here next week as we break down more of TMNT Archie adventures. And like you say, my dude, until next time.
Until next time, Kawabanga.
Another episode of Shellonomics is in the books. If you guys have not yet checked out all of our other amazing episodes, we've had amazing guests. We've talked about the 1987 cartoon, 2003 cartoon, Next Mutation, Coming Out of Their Shells, video games, the comics, crossover comics like Batman and the Power Rangers, and tons of amazing content with you guys, the fans. Be sure to stop by our YouTube channel, Spotify, and Twitch. And if you have somebody who'd like to be on the show, get in touch with us at kingmikedas@gmail.com. That's KINGMIKEDAS@gmail.com.